Jeremy, welcome to Halloween Daily. Thanks so much for hanging out and talking to us today.
Of course, of course. Happy to be here.
Talking about Diced Reloaded. And of course, I'm
Hmm.
always, as you might imagine, excited to talk about a new Halloween slasher. Anytime I can talk about a new Halloween slasher film, it's a good day for me. And that's what you've got here. Um, can you tell us just a little bit about how this story originally started for you and originated? You're both writer and director. And then more directly, was it always in your mind going to be set on Halloween night?
Yeah, I mean, I just, yeah, obviously, yeah, I love Halloween movies. I just wanted to set it in Halloween. And the story came about. I just wanted to have something, um, that's nostalgic to the 80s theme, like this typical slasher films, because I loved those growing up. So I wanted to touch on that and as well as touch on, what's going on in nowadays with horror films. I just wanted to kind of tie the both of them together and put together my own version of that. And I think I, definitely did that with our final girl and also with our villain Benny. So and they did a really good job, kind of displaying what I had in mind, what I had envisioned with these two characters for sure.
Now with your killer, your slasher Benny,
Hmm.
he wears this scarecrow costume, and
Hmm.
I love it because again, everything's Halloween with us, and scarecrow is like one of those iconic classic symbols of Halloween. I think like bats and
Yeah.
black cats are.
Hmm.
Was that always in your mind as from the beginning that he's got to be wearing this, or how did that evolve in this process?
Yeah, I definitely wanted a scarecrow because I felt like scarecrows are definitely underutilized and
Yeah.
a lot of clowns are been there's a lot of clown slasher films, so I definitely want to stay within the scarecrow. And then also I didn't want to have my villain have a face mask on. I wanted to kind of show his expressions through his face being painted. Um, so that's kind of where I kind of took from the both of those type of things and kind of and that's where you see Benny now. So just he's just this tall, 6'4", 200 plus pound killer. um that's just stalking his victims. And so I just got that idea from I watched the movie Jeepers Creepers growing up. I always thought that guy was a scarecrow. So so that's why I definitely want to do that. And then yeah, so I started writing the script, developing the character, and here we have Dice Reloaded.
And this Reloaded is a expansion of the original
Hmm.
short. For anybody that may have seen the original short, how without spoiling anything, can you talk a little bit about what you were able to do with this expansion and why this brings more to the film?
Yeah, the expansion definitely gives a little background more on Benny and his upbringing and more of his character. And then it also definitely more kill scenes in there. It gives a little more insight on different characters throughout the film, and then it just kind of just feels more of a full feature length film. So yeah, we definitely decided to kind of dive into Benny's background as well. So
Very cool, and very cool that you've got the opportunity to flesh it out a little bit more, and now get a much bigger release, and obviously a lot more people are going to be seeing it as it comes out in select theaters and on VOD
hmm.
this month as we're recording in August.
Yep.
Um, Now, we talked about Benny's costume. With a Halloween movie, all the characters are wearing costumes. So I'm always curious again in the writing and up into production, like how much of that are you seeing early on as like, okay, my main girl needs to be wearing this costume and her friend needs to be wearing this, or is that more stuff that's developed closer to shooting?
No, I thought when I was writing the script, I wrote the script and then after I wrote the script, I was thinking about like what costumes all these characters need to be wearing, what their outfits need to be, what their outfits need to be, and kind of um developed it early on, but then also closer to the shoot dates, we started to kind of fine tune things and kind of put things in order to make more sense within the film.
Very cool. And with this, I mean, we obviously, it's not the first slasher set on Halloween. There's a long lineage of these, even outside of the Halloween franchise. There's a ton, and I feel certain shades of Michael Myers every now and then, or maybe a little bit of Art the Clown here and there. And but then Benny will do things that are totally Benny, and it's like, okay, that's something I haven't seen before. Can you talk a
Hmm.
little bit about that balance of you're making a Halloween slasher, and you want to acknowledge, I imagine, and pay a little bit of respect and homage to some of these that have come before, but at the same time carving your own path and into this subgenre that we all love so much.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke with Jason, the guy who plays Benny, to kind of. I was working with him trying to figure out his Benny's mannerisms, how he kills, how he moves, just kind of make him put him in his own lane. And I think we definitely was did that for the most part in this film, but definitely on the next part too, we definitely want to put him in his totally different lane as far as everything. We want him to be this unique villain in the horror universe. So, um, just it just takes a little bit of fine tuning things here and there, but ultimately we were able to get what we wanted to get out of it, and then because his mannerisms, his movements, the way he kills, we want it to all be unique to horror, and just kind of fit within the universe there. So
Very cool. And yeah, I mean, I see, like I said, certain things that, okay, that's very kind of unique for this subgenre, a little bit different. There was one
hmm
moment that we talked to Jason about. In fact, when one of my favorites, I don't want to spoil, but he's like listening to some headphones at one moment, and that's just kind of one of my favorite moments in the movie. It just kind of a
oh yeah,
unique, some unique mannerisms that he does there in that. Um,
yeah.
and yeah, I mean, very, very effective for sure. Now, with this being a Halloween horror movie, have you thought about the fact that you might start seeing Benny costumes out and about during Halloween and or at horror conventions? I imagine.
Yeah, I've had a couple people make last year, or was it last year, a year and a half ago? A couple people were making the costume and dressing up as them as like at these horror conventions. I was tagged in maybe like five or six of them. I was like really shocked. I was like, wow, this is definitely new to me. But it was cool. I reached out to them in the messages and thanked them for making this costume because it's not available. They had to like kind of make it. So
Right.
so that was really thanked them, and it was really unique to see. Really cool to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, it's got to be cool for you to see, and it might be just the beginning on that. And speaking of just the beginning, you mentioned a sequel, and I know when Dread, when Epic first announced this, they said that the plan then was to make a sequel. So is that something we can definitely look forward to?
Oh yeah, definitely want to do a sequel. I learned a ton from this first one. This first film was my first film. I directed it, wrote it, obviously, and then also I did the editing, color grade, all of that stuff on the original one. But then um, Epic came and remastered everything. We shot the additional clips, and then put that at the beginning, giving more of a background on Benny's character. But ultimately, I learned a ton in this process. Um, so part two is definitely going to be bigger, more gruesome, better kills, more of a insight on Benny as a villain, more relatable scenes for our final girl. So yeah, definitely excited about that.
Awesome. Well, definitely looking forward to that. For our last couple minutes, if you'll indulge us, every day is Halloween, as you can see here. So we always try to ask if we have time, what does Halloween itself, the holiday, mean to you?
Oh, I love Halloween. I used to love like dressing up, going around trick or treating, going to different parties. It's just like one of the probably my favorite holiday. I just love dressing up, having fun. It's nothing like too like I feel like Christmas and like Thanksgiving is very can be very formal and stressful, but Halloween is very fun. And it's like you just go out with your friends, you go trick or treating, get candy. It's like it's all a lot of fun. So that's why I kind of gravitate more towards Halloween for sure.
Awesome. And I can imagine that Diced is going to start working its way into a lot of people's October horror movie rotations too, because people like me, we
Oh
have
yeah.
our whole list of Halloween set horror movies, and I can see it becoming a part of a lot of people's traditions. For our final two-parter, we always try to ask your favorite Halloween costume that you've ever worn and your favorite Halloween candy.
Favorite Halloween costume that I've ever worn? Let's see here. Hmm, that's a good question. Um, let's see. Probably I was Michael Myers one year. That was pretty fun dressing up as that. Um, then favorite Halloween candy. I eat candy a lot, but I only eat the specific candy around Halloween,
Mhm.
and a lot of people don't like it, but I like candy corn.
Yeah, very nice. Absolutely classic. Yeah, it's not Halloween if you don't eat too much candy corn. Usually for me, so yeah,
Yep.
almost it's too easy to eat too much. It's just right there. You know,
Oh
I'm
yeah. Oh
always
yeah, for
yeah, I'm
sure.
always throwing it back for sure. Awesome. Well, again, I know you're super busy today. Really enjoyed the movie, and yeah, definitely
Thank
going to
you.
be looking forward to more Benny in the next Dice. But Dice Reloaded is out this month in August on VOD and in select theaters. So thank you so much. And instead of saying goodbye, we always wrap by just wishing everybody a very happy Halloween.
All right. Happy Halloween, everyone.